Hello again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of Hearts of Iron 4. And when we last left off, we got our support equipment down, and these divisions actually have a little bit of support with them. We basic train them up, so we've got 3 divisions here in our army. And looking at that manpower, our conscription law went up to limited, so we are slowly trickling in even more manpower. If we wanted to put down another division and get that set for basic training, we possibly could. Taking a look at our recruiting and deployment, if we were to train one, and we just make one, we need a little bit more manpower. We need several thousand more manpower. What we can do is go ahead and set that, because, I mean, what are we going to do with the extra manpower, right? So that will slowly trickle in to the 5,300 we need for a full division. And then we have all of our equipment set. And so, you know, we're going to be okay as soon as we're ready to deploy. When not, or if not, no worries. Basically, I'm looking at this brigade of infantry in El Salvador. They've got, 6% attrition. And I imagine this supply isn't as great as need be. Either that or their basic training, but I don't see them doing the exercises, so I don't think they're hurting their equipment. I think they're just taking maybe manpower losses or something, which is crazy. Looking at El Salvador as a whole, if we look at the details, they've got way more manpower than we do. But still, it kind of seems crazy to just stand there and take attrition. So we'll see what happens. Once our next division comes out, we'll see where we can place them so that they don't take attrition. Right now we're working on our army effort. In research, we're working on the computer, better construction, and support weapons. We're 23 days away from construction 2, which is more construction speed and factory repair speed. Looking at our actual construction that we're doing, we are working on another civilian factory. And then after that, we are going to leap into making more coastal forts, which each one of our provinces can basically boost up its coastal defense because it's all on the coast. Funny how that works. Now, as far as our building slots are concerned, looks like we've got 2 more building slots on top of that. So we might be able to pump in some more military factories. So we can do 1 more. So what we'll do, we will continue making our civilian factory. And then when that civilian factory is done, we'll migrate into that military factory. And by then, hopefully we'll have something else researched that we can put an extra line on. Perhaps even maybe some motorized, so we can get maybe a signal battalion or the medics. Because we don't have the manpower to be wasting. For every loss that we take, it's going to hurt us a whole lot more than, say, San Salvador, who has people just sort of overflowing. Now, if we wanted to boost up our conscription law to extensive, we need to be fascist or communist or at war, which is crazy, with an estimated enemy strength of 50%. That's going to be easy to do compared to our army, with more than 20% war support. And we are at 14, as the world tension is at 14, thanks to Japan and Germany. So Germany has done the Rhineland, and looking on over, Austria and Czechoslovakia are still there, but I give it just maybe a month or 2, and that may disappear. But we do have government points to spend. So if we can go to early mobilization, nope. We need more than 15% war support. We need just a little bit more world tension, and we can reduce the amount of consumer goods needed, which is really awesome, but I don't know if we're going to see any world tension increase in the near future. Let's see. Can we do anything? We don't have a navy. Hey, there's construction 2, by the by, and we are in 1938. So we don't need to do that. We're way ahead of time on that. So engineering. We can work on some radar, but we don't have the building slots for it, and we're already working on our computer. So that is all well and good. Working on our land doctrine. So the leg infantry organization would be fun. Also, we can work on 1938 improved infantry equipment, but that is cavalry and motorized. We don't have motorized yet. So let's just hop on the good foot and get some motorized done. And look at what we've got here. We don't have an Air Force either. So military high command, cavalry, naval, anti-submarine, air superiority. Not going to help us a bit, any of these guys. Neither will the ship designer or the aircraft designer. But if we wanted to, we can sort of get a leg up on these positions. So do we want a Navy? That's a lot of steel. A lot of steel that I don't think we have. Aircraft is rubber. We would have to import that using our limited civilian factories. It's just a whole, crappy situation we find ourselves in. I would love to swap out of the civilian economy for 1% more war support. Oh, Japan declared war on China, and there we go. 15% war support. That is all we needed. So I'm glad we held off and waffled about a bit. So now we can go to early mobilization. So that goes from 35% down to 30%. Our conversion costs gets eliminated completely, and construction speed goes up by 20%. So we are going to early mobilize, and that should improve our construction up. So yeah, December of 38. So this year we're going to have our next civilian factory. I mean, we're not speeding along by any stretch of the imagination, and we can also hold more fuel. So we're bringing in more fuel. That's going to be ready in about a year's time as well. Yeah, so things are looking okay there. 59 days away from our computer, 36 days from support weapons, and that's just a straight 5% better infantry. How is basic training going, everyone? So we do have the manpower needed, and we've actually got an excess, so we're going to wait for them to be trained. We can get another infantry brigade out. So that is awesome. And I believe we were improving relations with the United States. We were looking, or were we not? Let's take a look at our political power gain. Now, let's improve relations with the United States and see if we can get a non-aggression pact going. Maybe we can get sort of under their wing a bit. Because the political power, I mean, yeah, it's nice to change economies and conscription, but I believe now if we wanted partial mobilization, we need 25% war support. So unless things really kick off, we won't need the 150 to do that. So that is, that's for the future. Something we can continue to work on. And yeah, the declared war on China. So Japan is moving. We have the Panay incident. American British gunboats were attacked by Japanese aircraft. All right, so there is our army effort done. So under the army effort, we have, we have the equipment effort, research bonus for infantry weapons and support. So that is fine. Man, 300% research boost for motorized. Do we swap out now for something else? Maybe artillery? Tell you what, we'll research artillery instead of motorized, and then we're going to take the focus to get the motorization effort. And then when that in 70 days, when that rolls around, okay, so we're going to pick 2 other techs before then. Support weapons in 22 days, computing machine in 43. The Chinese United Front, Yunnan joins the Chinese United Front. Oh man, we're already up to like 21% world tension. Saikang joins the Chinese Front. It's kicking off out in the Far East. Japan is moving. Yeah, Taisei Yoku Sankai is really moving through. Or no, that's his party. Yeah, it's Hirohito. Sure. I know history. He lied. Yeah, so Japan is going to start storming through China. Looks like China has banned up a little bit in this area to try to stop Japan. If we look at the wars that are being fought, yeah, the Manchu-Chinese War. So it's Manchukuo, Japan, and Menchukuo against China, Communist China, Yunnan, and Saikang. And then we also have the Spanish Civil War still kicking off. Republican Spain is almost capitulated, and that is our communist side. And Nationalist Spain is our fascist side. How is that looking, by the by? Oh man, Republican Spain has been pushed to the coast. Yeah, so now that they're split in two, their supplies are going to be pretty much gone if they can seize these ports. Yeah, that's huge for them. Good on them. All right, how is basic training going? All right, 62% of that is trained. We have 981 extra manpower. So as they slowly trickle in, we'll slowly start to boost up our military, aside from 3 brigades. Yeah, we have how much in our stockpiles, by the by? 6,000 extra infantry equipment, 402 extra support equipment, and 10 convoys. So that is all well and good, and we're almost done with support weapons too. So do we start working down, say, the tank route? Do we research what a tank is? How about our land doctrine? Ooh, 100% reduction to, yeah, organization. That answers that quick, fast, and in a hurry. So that is reduced down to 161 days. And then in 20 days, we'll have our computer, which will speed this up. And in, what, 50 or 44 days, we'll be able to get a 300% reduction in motorized technology, which will help us research field hospitals and get some doctors on these boys. So we can keep as much manpower as possible alive. I mean, that's going to be a huge deal going forward. All right, still 19th of December for our next civilian factory. We've almost got enough political power to change the government again. And next conscription, yeah, we need 20 war support and be at war. For partial mobilization, we need 25% war support. We might be able to do a cheeky decision to try to boost up that war support. War propaganda. Not already running war propaganda. Less than 50% war support and not in an offensive war. So if we start running some war propaganda, we can actually get enough to go partial mobilization and really reduce the need for civilian factories and get up some better conversion costs. So let's start putting some. Oh, there needs to be 50% world tension. Crap. So with 2 wars, that's not going to happen. If Hitler does his business, that might jump up quick, fast, and in a hurry. But for now, we're just going to have to sit here and suck our thumbs a bit. So air superiority, cavalry for motorized attack and defense. Since we're going to be researching motorized, we'll go ahead and get the motorized guy in there. So we're not just sitting on a bunch of points doing nothing. There is our computer. So that is 5% research speed. We're in the early stages of 38, so this is pretty much out of reach. Engineering, encryption, decryption, we might be able to do that. Artillery is still working on. Do we learn what a tank or an airplane is? We do have an airfield. We can start getting some fighters. And if no one else around us has an air force, that might, just a few planes might be enough to get some air superiority. What does your air force look like? 0. Okay, so yeah, let's learn exactly how steel can fly. How exactly can steel be propelled in the air? What is this thing called airplane? I don't understand. Yeah, we need that war propaganda up. Because right now, I want to get partial mobilization up. War economy, we need to be at war for that. So war is our next big tipping point, so we can go up to partial. And export focused, I don't know if we want to limit our exports. I don't really mess with the exports much. But moving along into April, almost done with our motorization effort, and we're 47 days away from towed artillery, so that artillery will change to motorized, and we already have a little bit of motorized researched, so hopefully that will just be a scant few days that we will be looking at motorized. As far as the next group, I don't know if we want to go straight into the next fighter, because we need military factories to even build the thing. So the more advanced fighters we can learn early, the better. But once we get motorized done, then we can work down the realm of the Signal Corps or the Field Hospital and add those to our divisions that exist. All right, speaking of which, how are you? 96% trained. We'll almost be ready to deploy. Let's go ahead and set them there in Honduras. We'll make them separate. We'll have them sort of do basic training on their own separately and then join them up to Army 1, led by Marcinello Esquivel. So that will be all well and good. As soon as they are ready to deploy, we will look forward to it. All right, so there they go. And you guys are green. So here's what you guys are going to do. You're going to be in a brand new army by yourself, and you are going to exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't cheat your body. Yeah, and they'll use up some of our equipment, but that's okay. We have plenty in stock, ready to go. And once we get these guys trained up and joined up with the main force, then they'll scurry about Honduras as need be. There's only 3, you know, little counties, provinces, what have you, in Honduras, so I don't exactly know where they're going to go. But there is, oh crap, there's the Anschluss. All right, so we've got motorized done. So Doctrine or equipment. It probably wouldn't hurt to do equipment as well. And let's take a look at that Anschluss and see exactly what happened. Yes, indeed. Was that Yugoslavia? Crap, I can't even remember what was down there. Austria. No, it's Austria. I know history. Yeah, so Austria is gone. Germany just gulped that up. We're 27% world tension and 18% war support. How close is that to our mobilization? All right, so we still need a little bit of war support. And our decision, how close are we on that? We need 50% world tension. So we're halfway to our requirement of world tension, but that will not allow us to do our war propaganda just yet. How are you guys doing? I mean, you're working. That's what we can say. We're gaining some experience points for you. And we're up to 1,000 manpower. Once they get trained, it's going to be interesting to switch to motorized. In 18 days or so, we'll get towed artillery research, go to motorized, make sure we know motorized, which will have a 300% boost to learning. And then getting that field hospital, and we'll see how much manpower that leaves us when we give all of these divisions a field hospital. So that will be the next good thing. 196 days away, and we'll have plenty of fuel. Yeah, the motorized divisions are going to start eating into our fuel reserves. So we gain 48 fuel per day, and we can hold 57,500 fuel. So we don't really get a whole lot of gas. So the less that the motorized divisions move around, the better. And I don't exactly know what the field hospital needs to operate as far as fuel consumption and all that good stuff goes. So 500 manpower per. So we need 2,000 at that point. Supply use, I don't see how much motorized it needs, but I'm sure it will need some. Probably not a whole heck of a lot since it's not an actual motorized infantry division, but Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but we definitely need to save all the manpower we can. 4 days away from researching our motorized, and then that should speed through fairly quickly. How are you guys on training? Nice, 38% trained to the next level. So feeling pretty good about that. And dude, being able to hold 72 troops, like, do you have a perk or something that allows you to... All right, towed artillery done. Next up, the motorized division at 300%. Yeah, so that's going to be done in 31 days. We'll have that done, ready to go before the next one, before these two are even thought of yet. Yeah, that's nice big chunks. And then we'll go into our field hospital and start researching that up. And then with our extra factory, we can start slowly producing some motorized pullback 1 off the infantry equipment. And just start building some cars. We'll move that up to the highest tier, so it gets our steel. Because we have an excess of infantry equipment. We don't need it. Alright, so we've got our tank designer and our motorized attack. I mean, might as well do air superiority, since we are considering airplanes. Yeah, 54% trained. And yeah, that motorized is going along swimmingly. So what we'll do is we will start researching the field hospitals and call in an episode 170 days away from filling up our fuel. We're not going to spend any manpower on another division yet because we need those hospitals. Yeah, and we'll pull one of the factories back from the infantry equipment and start a brand new line of motorized until we can sort of ascertain what we need for the field hospital. Then we can adjust accordingly, import things as need be, or what have you. So halfway done with our civilian factory, that'll move into our military factory. And we're at 18% war support, 26. German Reich has, yeah, done the most with Japan, really close behind. Spanish Civil War is almost done, and when they get sort of annexed, that may boost the world tension even more. And then the Manchu-Chinese War is not really going a whole lot of anywhere. A lot of deaths on the Chinese front. 619,000 losses versus 55,000. And no one has captured really any victory points. So it is a knockout, drag-out battle in the Far East. And we are 1 week away from motorized. We'll go ahead and get a template of motorized up and running. And then these guys are 75% trained, 3/4 of the way to level 3. And that's where they will stay. So as always with the last couple episodes, it is a building episode. Getting an extra army division, watching the world plummet into chaos slowly around us, and building up relations with the United States, which American opinion of Honduras is at 98, so it doesn't look like they, yeah, we've maxed out. All right, there's motorized done. Now we want to go down to the support units and get that field hospital. Research that, please. 128 days until we know how to apply a bandage. All right, so that's going to be all well and good. Let's go ahead and get our next production line going. We want to get some motorized up. 1 rubber, 1 steel, and you will go to the top of the stack, if you please. And pull 1 factory back. And there we go. We make 1 motorized truck per week. And the weapons are still almost at very much max efficiency. So is the support equipment. And we're slowly going to research, build up how to make a truck. We make 2 per week now. Outstanding. So we can knock that down, get some vehicles in our garage. And in 121 short days, Poland seeks the Baltic cooperation. Can't forget Poland. And there is the Munich Agreement. Equipment effort is done. Next up is the Army Doctrine effort. And then we can go into mechanization. 2 years ahead of time penalty reduction for motorized. Well, now we learn motorized. So that is something that you jump on like immediately. What happens when we do political effort? We can go liberty to get trade opinion deal. And we can go, say, neutrality focus perhaps, maybe. Start working down this way. Volunteer Corps. Foreign expeditions, why we fight. And technology sharing would be huge. We can't get that extra research slot done by any stretch of the imagination. Honduras adds 2 air bases. And a bigger bonus for air doctrine. And fighters. Okay, so let's start working down the fighter plane route. And I think we will call it an episode here, everyone. So, we've got our 4th Division in basic training. No, let's not let that stand. Let's go ahead and get everyone trained up as best we can. We're in July. 29% world tension, 18% war support. And just in a few short moments, our 3rd Infantry Brigade, which should be our 4th, that's fine, will be trained up, ready to go. A month away from learning what a fighter plane is, and then we'll use that doctrine to get the bonus on the actual fighter plane. And right now in our stockpile, we've got 3 trucks. 3 beautiful trucks. And there is Republican Spain Annex, 32% world tension now. They sieged a bunch of equipment, and we are going to move that army right in there. And they're going to move right down there into the mountains to help defend. So there we go. End of Spanish Civil War. So let's take a look at the war as it stands now. We have nationalist Spain here, full fascist. We have the German Reich, who is not at war, but like maybe eventually. All right, the United Kingdom doing general rearmament. Okay, United States. Oh man, they're 31% communists. The next elections in 2 years, if they can swing that, we might see a communist United States. Looking at Japan, they are pushing the front in China. They haven't got to communist China just yet, and they really haven't made any headway into mainland China either. So yeah, sitting kind of pretty over here in our little patch of the world. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next Hearts of Iron 4 video. Take care.